The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show. It's time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries with 2 strangers and 1 target where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and is even loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Order Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, now available at Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. And heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. And follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for some great gift ideas, including t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, throw pillows, tote bags, and more, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. Great gifts for your loved ones, 24/7, 365. And for more great gift ideas, including hoodies, as well as some tank tops, t-shirts, and more, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mian Mohsen Zia store, including great books like Missing, Once, Wrinkles, and more. Go to Amazon.com and check out the Mian Mohsen Zia store. And don't forget to donate to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Also, contribute on Anchor FM/support, as well as PayPal.com and the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who spent many years as a financial consultant on TV, which is for CNBC, Fox Business, Bloomberg, and works in wealth management. And he's also a TEDx speaker. I mean, this guy's amazing. I mean, I love TEDx's and everything. And he has a bachelor's and master's from UC Irvine, and holds a certified investment management analyst designation from Yale, and also numerous black belts and several martial arts. So you might want to watch out for this guy here. And he's also got a book called Streaking to Win, which describes his journey, you know, how he started, and also shares tips on how you can be successful, like with self-help, setting goals, and everything else. And I mean, this guy is just amazing. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown sunny California, the author of Streaking to Win, the very amazing author, Andre Julian. Andre, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, it's great to have you on board, Andre. I mean, I took a look at your book and I said, it is just amazing. You spent many years as a financial contributor on TV for CNBC, Fox Business, and Bloomberg. And for those who, watch CNBC, Fox Business, Bloomberg, he's a very familiar face, and gives some great stories and advice and also works in wealth management, and a TEDx speaker, and holds a bachelor's and master's from University of California, Irvine. And you also have a book called Streaking to Win, which is out right now on Amazon, and describes a great story and, tips on self-help and more, taking it to the next level. And before we get into all that, Andre, tell us how I first got started.
Which part, the book or the career?
Well, actually, it can be just you. It's like, just happen a Wayback Machine, kind of like way back. And then you can just work your way in. So kind of do a little Wayback Machine for you.
Yeah, I'll do it way back. I think when I was a kid, people would ask me what I wanted to do, and I really didn't know. I just knew I wanted to wear a suit. That was my goal in life, because I figured people with suits look successul. And then as I started on in school, I realized I was really good at math, and I really like people, like talking to people, and over time, as I developed throughout my studies and my career, eventually led me to UC Irvine, and I actually worked on a savings and loan research project.
Oh, wow.
That started in undergraduate school, and then it moved into graduate school. And what we were doing is we were studying. It was a big government grant. We were studying the fraud that was perpetrated in the original savings and loan crisis in the 80s and 90s. And what I got to thinking was, wow, these people were making a lot of money. If they just kept on the straight and narrow and just continued doing what they were doing, they were already very successful. They were already doing well. Why did they have to perpetrate fraud? Why did they get greedy? And then as I went through and continued on, I just really became intrigued with the financial industry, and continued on in my career in that direction. And then simultaneously, I always had a love for martial arts. And that's something that I always did along the way. So I did those two things, realized that martial arts was a phenomenal hobby, created a lot of discipline. Obviously, you know how to work hard, you know how to push through things, you know how to push through barriers. And really, I've dedicated my time to those two endeavors over the years.
That's very interesting. And of course, you talk about the savings and loan crisis that you guys worked on as well, too. What do you think really was the main cause of the savings and loan to crash? And if you were run the savings and loan, what would you have done?
Well, it was really deregulation. And that's an argument. There's obviously there's always a bull and a bear case, right? There are always two sides of every coin. But really what we found through all the research was that white collar crime is obviously a crime of opportunity, just as other crimes are. Well, when they deregulated the savings and loan industry, the savings and loans realized that they could get greater multiples on their investments if they invested in things that were, illegal. There were some savings and loans that were investing in drug money. They were helping the Hells Angels with their transportation of methamphetamines. So those are obviously things that a savings and loan shouldn't be doing. But I think as one savings and loan did it, others started to do it. And it obviously just started really what would end up being a disaster. But if I were running a savings and loan, again, I've always believed that you do things the way that you're supposed to do them. You do things the right way. You do things in an ethical way, in an ethical manner. The regulations are there for a reason, and there should be something that goes on, some kind of an alarm that gets set off inside you that says, "Wait, this is wrong. I'm hurting people. I'm doing things illegally. Or I'm going to get caught." Those are things that you need to do as a business person. If you don't have that, then obviously you run the risk of ruining your company.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it was a mistake for the savings and loan to get deregulated?
Oh yeah, I think it was. It's there's again because I work in an environment where capitalism is obviously important. You need the markets, you need capitalism, you need to have companies that have earnings and have growth. But with that, I do think that there should be regulation. Because with regulation, it allows the game to be played fairly, so to speak. It doesn't allow monopolies to develop. It doesn't allow people to lie, cheat, and steal. And I think that when it comes down to healthcare, when it comes down to finance, those two industries really should be regulated because you're dealing with people's money and you're dealing with people's health. The worst thing is to have either a healthcare company or a financial company perpetrate fraud because you really have victims that can lose their health, lose their life savings.
Mm-hmm. And of course, it's also made me think as well too that compare back in the 80s. Do you think the state of the economy, like with the healthcare you talked about, and also savings and loan and everything, do you think it has gotten better? Do you think they learned their lesson? Do you think it's like stayed the same, or do you think it's gotten worse?
No, I think we always learn lessons from the past. As you see, we have a crisis that gets nearly averted, or you have a crisis that we actually go through, and then we learn from that crisis. We learn how it happened. We learned what we could have done differently, what we could have changed, what we couldn't have changed, and then how to address it. One of the recent crises we've obviously all gone through, which is probably one of the reasons we're on this Zoom, is COVID. And you realize that we had a massive government shutdown because of a health crisis that they weren't really sure how to address. Mm-hmm. But if you look at that single event and you realize that the government shut down, the entire economy, they shut down businesses, they told people to go home. Well, if you look at the lessons that were learned from the 2008 financial crisis, those lessons were learned, and then the solutions they came up with in 2008 were implemented very quickly last year in 2020. And so the argument is we couldn't have really got through COVID in the way that we did if we wouldn't have learned from 2008, and we wouldn't have got through 2008 if we didn't learn from the savings and loan crisis, and if we didn't learn from the Depression. So, my thought is we're always learning, we're always getting better, and there will be some other crisis in the future, and the hope is that we're well equipped to face it. And I think that's the same thing in life too. We have to learn from our mistakes. Mistakes are good. They're bad if we don't learn from them, but I think they're great if we can learn from them, assess them, and obviously move forward in a better direction. And when we come across something like that in the future in our lives, whether it be financial, whether it be institutional, whether it be personal, we can take all those lessons and continue to progress.
Mm-hmm. And also that also comes into play with the book, Streaking to Win, talking about your journey and also talking about life's lessons and goal setting a lot more. We'll talk about that in just 1 minute, but first listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by me and Molson Z has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by me and Molson Z, available on Amazon. Don't forget to check out the Mike Wagner Show on all 30 podcast platforms like Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, also Anchor FM, Apple Music, Google Play, iTunes, and more. Make sure you take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise, including t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, throw pillows, tote bags, and more. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Me and Molson Zia store for great books like Missing, Once, Wrinkles, and more. And don't forget to show your support for Mike Wagner Show with your donation to the MikeWagnerShow.com. Also on Anchor FM/support and PayPal at the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with the amazing author Andre Julian of Streaking to Win here on the Mike Wagner Show. And before we talk about the book, you spent many years as a financial contributor on TV with CNBC, Fox Business, and Bloomberg. And how'd you get involved with TV in the first place? You're very recognizable.
It started with radio. Is really as you had a lot of people shifting over to TV as the financial entertainment became more popular. Radio was in search for more people to interview, and like in life, a lot of times it's who you know, who knows you, and if you know somebody that knows somebody, we just had someone that knew one of the producers at Bloomberg. I think they went to college together or something like that. And they needed radio guests, and that's really how it started. They started interviewing me on radio. I did that for probably about 6 months or so. Probably did about 30, 40, maybe more interviews on radio, and then got a chance to do Fox. Fox at that time was just gaining ground, and they were trying to get market share from CNBC. So then they needed guests, and they needed guests that had experience. And since I had the radio experience, they gave me a shot on Fox. And then once you do one, if you do a good job, they invite you back. And then if they keep on inviting you back, other networks start inviting you, and you kind of build momentum from there. So I think part of it is just one, being at the right place at the right time, knowing the right people. But obviously, I think that it's important to be a student of your craft and really be prepared. And I think that was part of it, was really focusing on what is it that I can contribute, because that's what you are. You're a contributor. And then if you focus on that, then they just keep on inviting you back because they want your commentary.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like you've contributed a lot as well, too. And, on the many topics like the savings and loan, healthcare, financial industry, and just about everything. And what was like some of the more tougher topics you discussed, or maybe something else more controversial, or maybe that, one that maybe got like, the highest ranks, or maybe like, more responses than expected?
I'll tell you one. That's a phenomenal question. And one just pops into my head. I had a top of the hour spot, and I don't remember exactly what the spot, it was whatever the topic of the day was. And it was during the financial crisis. It was when the market continued to melt down. And it was at around 2008, 2009, when it was actually in 2008, when people really didn't know what was going on. They really didn't know just how deep the issue was. And so it was a top of the hour spot. And I remember, I think I'm admitting this for the first time. I remember sitting down and I asked the producer, I said, "Hey, by the way, I actually kind of have to go to the restroom. Do you mind if I jump?" And he said, No, don't worry about it. Your spot's, 3 minutes. It just, we're ready to go. And I said, "Okay, fine." And then you sit there and you put your game face on, and then they ask me the questions. And from the time I got, and remember, this is back in 2008, from the time I started to the time I finished, which was 3 minutes, the Dow Jones had already dropped over 500 points, which in those days, huge. And so we were in the middle of this meltdown, and the next guest didn't show up. And they said, "Hey, by the way, do you mind? Can you just sit in?" And I said, "Sure." And so I sat in for the next segment. And then they said, "Hey, can you stay for another segment?" And I said, "Sure." And they just kept on asking me to stay. And they were throwing everything at me. They were asking me about global macroeconomic trends, about the oil industry, about supply and demand in the supply chain cycles. You name it, they were asking me. At some point, I was on. I don't even know what panels I was on anymore. I was on with, I think Bill Gross even popped on there from PIMCO at the time.
Oh my God!
But it ended up being an hour.
Wow.
And I think maybe. I think the fact that I really had to go to the bathroom real bad, and that's what I was focusing on, it just let me answer things. And obviously, I felt that I had the knowledge, I was prepared. And at the end of the show, the host actually thanked me. They said, "Wow, that was phenomenal. We really appreciate it." And so this is our co-host, Andre Julian. We really thank him for his input. That was huge. That was, I think that's probably my most memorable time, because it was just so many segments.
And here he is. It's like, I'm Andre Julian. Thank you for your time. And out you go, like really quick. Fade the black now.
Exactly. Yeah, those spots were pretty nerve-wracking, but it was always quick, just quick. You have usually three little sound bites, just boom, 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 answer your question, 30 seconds and move on.
Wow. I think the part that amazed me was the fact that after 3 minutes were done, as soon as you hit 3 minute mark, the Dow Jones plunged 500. And I can imagine people are saying, it's like, you caused this, you caused it. It's like, it's just one of the cases of like, let's say like karma, timing or something like that. It's like, I don't know what the word to describe though.
Yeah, it's, I think you have to become disassociated with it, and you realize, look, the market moves up, the market moves down. People are panicking sometimes, and sometimes they're not. And you just learn. You learn the ebb and flow over the years.
Mm-hmm. And
I think the best advice I ever got was when I first started in the industry. Somebody took me aside, and because I was really, passionate, and they said, "Look, you've got to calm down, because each day in this industry is like a mini life.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have ups, you'll have downs. People will be happy, people will be sad. You can't get too attached to it, because you're gonna have a heart attack.
Right,
you're gonna drive yourself crazy. Just learn to accept that sometimes when you walk in at the beginning of the day, everything looks fantastic, everything is green, everything looks good. But then by the end of the day, everything could be bad, everything could be red. So don't attach yourself to it, and realize that it's the cycle of life." Mm-hmm. And it was just a huge lesson.
Mm-hmm. And I also think of it a roller coaster as well, too. You have your ups and downs and everything. It's never straight line. I look at it this way. If life was always straight line, life would be pretty boring. So it could come to an end real quicker. Yeah. Of course, roller coaster just extends the line. That's how I look at it. So
yeah. Although it is nice when it's straight for a little bit. Sometimes you need a break.
Exactly, too. And of course, you also talk about your book as well, too, Streaking to Win. And of course, you do streak to win, like in the lines and curves and everything else. And, tell us more about the book, starting off with your journey, and also some tips as well, too. It's an amazing book.
Sure. Thank you. I think it really started with a TED Talk. I got invited to do a TED Talk, and, the topic was really about how to believe in yourself. And I thought I'd do something different. I wanted to be different than the typical motivational speaker. And again, I think the motivational industry is phenomenal. There are so many great speakers. They have so many great ideas. But what I realize is that most of them start off with you just need to believe in yourself. And if you're not following through with this material, you need to believe in yourself. But then you realize that's one of the hardest things to do. And so the topic of the TED Talk was about how to create belief in yourself. And it was about the experiences that you have to go through and overcoming challenges. And when you overcome challenges, you rewire your brain, and then that actually creates a belief in yourself, which I thought, wow, that's pretty phenomenal. That's a great TED Talk. But then I realized at the end, I didn't really do anything different, because how many people are going to be able to push through a challenging experience and come out the other side? The issue is that most people can't. They don't. There are very few people that actually start off with that belief, or have been raised that way, or programmed that way, or coached that way. Well, if you're not one of those people, what do you do? And what I realized was, again, I didn't address the topic properly. I felt like I fell short, and I thought, wow, what is it that I missed? And it kind of bothered me. Mm-hmm. And that was the impetus for the book. So I started doing more research, and then one day it hit me. My daughter she used Snapchat like a lot of kids do. And one night, my wife was trying to wrestle the phone from her, and they got an argument. And I ran into the room. I said, "What the heck is going on?" And my daughter said, "Mommy wants to take my phone. Mommy wants to take my phone because." And I go, "Well, okay, that's great, but it's 10 o'clock. You know the rules." And she said, "But I have to finish my streaks." And I think, okay, my daughter's streaking on social media. That's not good.
Right. Yeah. Of course, their version of streaking is different from ours back in the day. So
exactly. Exactly. I don't even think she knew what I was talking about, but she explained it to me, and she explained that as you communicate with your friends on Snapchat, every time that you communicate with them, they communicate back with you. That's a streak. And the longer you communicate with them every single day in a row, you develop these streaks. And I said, "Yeah, but why are they so important?" She said, "You don't understand. I'm trying to get a hold of this person. We have a 200-day streak. I can't ruin it." And she was just so invested in this. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. So I went and started doing the research. And what I realized is that there really is a psychological attachment to these streaks. And you actually do become addicted to them. You get a surge of dopamine every time you have you're waiting for this person to answer you. And you realize that there truly is something there. And I thought, well, what happens if you can actually apply that to your life and apply that to your goals, rather than just communicating with your friends. And so, as I did the research, I realized that, there's something real there. And so that's how the concept of streaking to win really came about, or at least, writing about it. And then the more I started talking to different people, doing the research, I realized that there are people that have been keeping track of their streaks. We actually have a friend of ours that he has run every single day, like 3 miles a day for 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter. He's had surgery, and he basically just goes out and he'll walk it. He'll do what he goes, it counts, whatever. He hasn't missed a day. And I thought, wow, that's powerful stuff. And then as I started researching it, what I realized was that really is the path down the bridge, right? That's what's going to bridge the gap between where you are now. If you're the type of person that really doesn't truly believe in themselves, that really can't follow through with motivational programs you listen to, or the steps to the goals that you have, is that is to take that short-term reward system where you're actually keeping tracks of these small micro goals and you're working towards bigger goals. The physical act of keeping track of these streaks every day, it actually unleashes dopamine. It rewards you in a very short-term way, but then eventually your brain starts to rewire itself. And over time, you actually get to the point where you don't even need the streaks anymore. You don't even need the dopamine anymore because you've actually developed habits. And I thought, wow, this I think somebody would like to hear about this. And that's really how I started writing about it.
That's really interesting too. It also takes on a fresh perspective, like with self-help and achieving goals and in pursuing, where you're at today. And I mean, I probably say you just took this to a whole new level. And of course, now the question is, what makes Streakin to Win, separate from the rest of the pack?
Well, I think that's it. I looked at it as there's, before every moment, there's a moment. There was a commercial that I saw and that really stuck with me because, before every moment you make a decision to actually go through it or not. Right. So if you're at the edge of, let's say, the plane, when you're ready to skydive, you're either going to go or you're not. And some people, chicken out. And that's obviously something that's pretty intense, but let's back it down to even smaller goals. You're either going to wake up in the morning to your alarm or you're going to hit the snooze button. So which one are you going to be? Which person are you going to be? Well, what ends up happening is that every single program out there, for the most part, that is, that's popular, regardless of whether you're talking about like a David Goggins or Anthony Robbins or a Les Brown or a Inky Johnson. I mean, you name it. There's so many phenomenal motivational speakers, but every single one of them starts with the premise that you can actually follow through with what they're asking you to do. And so my whole point of the book was you're just, if you can't follow through with these programs, you're just not ready yet because you haven't developed that self-discipline. You haven't developed that belief. But how do you develop it, right? How? And these programs just don't talk about that. And that's what the streaking is about. It's about breaking goals down to their smallest essence, these micro goals, and just literally keeping track of them every day. So if you look at a simple thing like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow at 4:30 in the morning and I'm going to work out. And I'm going to do that for the rest of my life. Okay, well, guess what? 4:30 comes, you wake up, you work out, you put a hash mark. You did it. Well, the more days you do that in a row, all of a sudden you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 days into it. You're not going to stop because going back to zero is too disheartening. But two, along the way, again, the neural connections in your brain are becoming more and more powerful, and they're actually creating this discipline. They're creating these habits. And the more you continue doing this, the more you can create these habits. At some point, you'll get to the point where you really don't need to search for this belief or search for these habit-forming behaviors, because you'll have them. They'll be innate. You did it. Then you've crossed over into that small group of people that now can actually accept and follow through with all these programs that they've been trying to follow through with. So that's the difference. Is I'm just saying, look, this is something you do before you do these other programs. If you are the type of person who just hasn't been able to follow through with these programs.
That is very interesting. Simple as, waking up at 4:30, working out, over to like, say, lose weight or buy a house, save money. And it can apply just about everything and anything. Right.
Yeah. And that's really what it is. It sounds so simple, but sometimes, we find the best solutions in the simplest things. It's the act of actually picking a small goal, the act of actually putting a hash mark down or a number, and count the days in a row that you do it. You break down different goals and do them that way. That creates 1, a habit, and 2, accountability, and then 3, eventually a belief.
That is so amazing. And where can we find the book at Streakin' to Win?
It's out on Amazon. It's on BookBaby. It's on iBooks, iTunes, Barnes and Noble. All your typical retailers. You can order on Kindle. You can order it in old-fashioned book copy. It's however you want to order it, it's available.
That is amazing. And what's coming up for 2021 beyond for Andre Julian? We'll find out in just a minute. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's of Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with author Andre Julian of Streakin' to Win after this timeout.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and more. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, where The Mike Wagner Show interviews great guests, cool conversation, lots of laughs, coffee, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device, subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today.
Hey, this is Ray Powers. And if there's one thing you can count on in these unpredictable times, it's that you're in good hands getting some great radio, courtesy of The Mike Wagner Show.
We're back with author Andre Julian of Streakin' to Win here on the Mike Wagner Show. We talked about his many years as a financial contributor on TV for CNBC, Fox, Bloomberg, and worked in wealth management and more. And just an amazing story we have with Andre Julian and Streakin' to Win. And what can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond, Andre?
2021, I've got invited to do a couple book signings, which is nice. And so I'll start doing a few of those. I'm really toying with writing another book. It's tempting. I'll see. I think there's some questions that were unanswered, and I think there definitely is a follow-up. But I'll do some speaking engagements. More than anything, by invitation at the moment. I have a few invites for the rest of the year. And then, I'll continue obviously working in my business, and the big goal I have then is moving into 2022 and getting now my third black belt in a totally different art. And this one's been a labor of love. So this is the one that I'm right on the edge there. I started taking jujitsu in a gi. And for those of you that don't know, a gi is the outfit that you wear, where you have the belt and you have the pants and the top, which is a completely different discipline. I've been doing other martial arts for years, and I just decided to take up the gi a bit ago, and so transitioning into my next black belt, and we'll start helping teach at the school as well.
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. I'm sure you got a lot of hashtags for that too, accomplishing those goals. I mean, that's fantastic. Amazing. So really amazing. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Ooh, that's a really good question. There's so many. I'd have to say the owner of my first company, and I know that he really likes to fly under the radar, so he doesn't like to be named, but he knows who he is. He's a mentor, a friend. I still talk to him. He was really hard on me. I actually had lunch with him the other week, and it was tough love. I mean, it was tough love. No excuses. There was never an excuse. It was show up early, work late. Taught me a tremendous work ethic, and really embedded in me that understanding that if you really want to be the best, you have to be a master at your craft, and that's really what you search for every day. And then I would say also Peter Navarro. For those of you who don't know, Peter Navarro, he was actually worked in the White House in the previous administration, and he was a professor at UCI. Mm-hmm. And I got to teach with him. I taught finance with him in one of his classes for about 10 years. He PhD from Harvard. Amazing human being, but just the wealth of knowledge to help me understand about economics, macroeconomics, cycles, systems, flows, really made a huge impact in my career.
That is very fantastic. What's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
The best advice is just to really understand what your long-term goals are, what you're trying to accomplish. I think that if people get too greedy, they try to search for these outlandish returns. They try to find the next best thing, the next big thing, the next short-term gain. But really, I think it is just focus on what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and make sure that everything that you do is designed to keep you on that path. It's the slow and steady wins the race theory.
It is very important as well, too, and very good advice. Once again, we're with author Andre Julian of Streakin to Win here on the Mike Wagner Show. Andre, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on 2021 and beyond. Don't forget to keep in touch. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact? Where can people purchase or check out your book?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me. We have streakingtowin.com. Amazon, iTunes, iBooks, Barnes and Noble, you name it, it's out there. You search my name on Google and I'll pop up. If you want to reach me, if you want to make contact with me, I'm quite searchable.
We certainly will do so. Once again, Andre, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on 2021 and beyond. And don't forget to keep in touch. You've been absolutely terrific. And don't forget to streak to win.
I will. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Hey, everybody. My name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real-life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, Custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.